Hi, I'm Tim of Divergent Elite Detailing of McDonough, Georgia, and AskDivergent.com. So recently we had a call, and the question was this: can you remove overspray on my vehicle? So turns out the story was that a lot of times in whether it be residential painting or in commercial painting, probably more so in commercial, the spray, it's a spray application of the paint on the exterior surface. The issue with that can be, if the wind's blowing that day, that it will pick up the mist of the spray and blow it on vehicles in the parking lot, which is the case here. So this was on a commercial job, and a number of cars were actually covered with overspray. So the first question back to them, to the painter, was what type of paint was it? You have oil-based and latex. Fortunately, it was latex. The removal can be different depending on the style of paint, but we'll go along the lines of this was latex on this particular vehicle. So what are we doing to remove that? Here's the equipment that we're using. We're doing a 2-bucket wash method like we normally do. And then what we're using are the product in here is G-Technic G-Wash, which is going to be the soap that we're going to use for the lubricant on the surface. We're going to use a wash mitt, and then we're going to use for the actual removal that we keep rinsed out on a regular basis. We'll do panel by panel as we work through the vehicle, keeping this rinsed out thoroughly. I take this particular cloth, which mimics a clay bar. It has a clay bar mimicking flat surface on it, to where I can actually use that to remove toxins. You have, as you've heard in other videos, a chemical detoxifying process, and then you have a mechanical. This is mechanical. So I've used this rag that has a clay bar surface to it that mimics that. But what I do with the rag is I take it and I fold it into fourths, into quarters. And then what this does is it gives me surfaces that I can rotate. If I'm doing the front quarter panel, I'm going to lubricate the surface with the G-Wash. Then I'm going to follow it up with this, and I'm going to keep it rinsed. I'm going to wash a section of it with this to remove the paint from the surface, and then I'm going to keep rotating that. And I'm going to rotate it like this. And as I do, I'm keeping a clean surface. That way I'm not adding, as this picks up the latex paint off of the surface, I want to make sure that I'm not now, through the contaminants that are landing on here, scratching the surface of the paint. Now, you've heard me say also in other videos, you only want to clay bar vehicles that you plan to polish, because you are going to micromar the surface. You are literally going to put fine scratches on there, and a little bit of a haze on there. So what we want to do is make sure that we follow this up with a polish that will remove that haze on it, which we're planning to do on this. So we're removing latex paint from the surface. We're using a clay bar mitt or a clay bar rag. We're using the wash mitt, microfiber, and G-Wash is our lubricant for that. So we're just taking it slow, section by section, and you just want to make sure that you're keeping your rag rotated, you're keeping a clean surface at all time, and after you use all 4 sides, then take it, rinse, you put it in your rinse bucket, and then your wash bucket, and then just follow that all the way around. But with latex paint, a lot of times that works. Sometimes you think, well, I'm just going to have to polish it to do that, to get it off. But then why do that if you don't have to? So it would be overkill in this sense. So it's working effectively. And so far we've worked our way to this door and it's removed it completely. If you've got questions along these lines, we'd love to hear them, love to answer them for you. You can submit your question one of 2 ways. You can call us at 678-310-3153, or you can submit that question at AskDivergent.com.